So my fourth week of field work was Friday, April the 19th. When I got to Deerfield, they placed me this time with their group of fourth and fifth grade students. I was with their group leader, Mike. He was the only other male group leader there, actually. It was just him and then this really kind of quiet guy, Zach, who was in charge of the third graders. And then the thing I noticed about Mike is that he was a lot more like authoritative or just kind of generally like less. He was more open to like yelling at like kids, essentially, like yelling like, "Hey, stop doing that," or "Stop running," or "We need to be quiet right now," or like threatening to send people to the office or whatever. It kind of made sense to me that they put him with the older kids just because they were a little bit more not like mis like they weren't like any worse behaved. They just they were older, and you could kind of get the sense that they thought that they could do what they wanted because they were the older kids. Um, and we took them outside for recess like normal. And one thing I noticed with the older kids is that there was definitely a lot more of a split between like girls and boys. There was pretty much just solid groups of girls and boys that would play separately. The girls would like they mostly just hung out over by the swings and like talked while the boys would play sports. And I ended up playing soccer with a group of some boys for a while, for most of the day actually. And then as more and more people started going home, I just was kind of talking to some of the kids. One of the kids that I talked to for a long time was this little black boy, and I was actually asking him like what he thought about the fact that there was a predominantly white school, and he said, it's not like a issue for him, but uh, he said it didn't bother him except for there were so few other kids that went there that actually looked like him, which was kind of strange for him. And I don't know, I felt bad hearing him say that because that's something that like I never had to deal with when I was going to school. It's something was never conscious of thinking about. I just completely took for granted that pretty much everybody that I went to school with looked like me, never thinking about how that would make me feel if I felt like an other in a school. Um, he didn't really want to say anything else about it though. I asked him questions and he just kind of gave me dismissive answers. But it was an interesting point for the day. Something that made me think. Um, I think this day, like more than any of the other ones, really kind of made me think in terms of things that we're discussing in the class, just from like gender and race being like more visible or being like addressed, I guess, by the kids. Um, but overall, yeah, it was a good fourth week.